you get away with it probably until you get caught.
Yeah, so suddenly he got caught, and now all of a sudden it's a big deal. So he needs.
I paid $15 to $17 for a 16-ounce can of beer, Budweiser. We could buy a whole case for that, but I paid for it.
Why did you pay for it?
Because I had to. You're here.
Want to have a good time?
Yeah, you want to have a good time.
What if I told you the CEO of MGM Resorts just admitted on a recorded call that they've been systematically ripping you off? Not my words, his. Bill Hornbuckle, the man running 8 of the biggest casinos on the Vegas Strip, just confessed what millions of tourists already suspected. And here's why this matters right now. His admission isn't just about MGM. It exposes the entire Vegas machine and how they turned America's playground into a corporate cash grab. Hornbuckle's confession didn't come from a press release. It slipped out during a quarterly earnings call, the one moment corporate leaders usually stick to safe talking points. That's what makes this different. This wasn't damage control. It was an unfiltered moment when Wall Street heard what Vegas visitors have been screaming online for years. For years, Vegas regulars have whispered what MGM finally admitted this week. The Strip isn't just expensive anymore, it's predatory.
Everything is more expensive. We had bought some water and Gatorade, just one each last night. It was almost $25.
Expensive. So the food is just outrageous.
It's about $60 for 2 to eat every meal.
During an earnings call that nobody expected to make headlines, MGM CEO Bill Hornbuckle dropped a bombshell that sent shockwaves through the tourism industry. "We just lost control of the narrative," he confessed, admitting that some pricing decisions were badly miscalculated. Then came the moment that made jaws drop. Hornbuckle singled out an infamous symbol of corporate greed, the coffee at Excalibur. When we think about pricing and things that got everyone's attention, whether it's the infamous bottle of water or Starbucks coffee at Excalibur that cost $12, shame on us, he said. You can't have a $29 room and a $12 coffee. Think about that. The CEO of 8 major Strip properties basically admitted they've been gouging you. For a city built on illusion, it's rare to hear truth spill from the executive suite. But this wasn't just a PR slip. It was a quiet acknowledgement of how corporate Vegas lost its soul. In that brief soundbite, Hornbuckle did something no Vegas executive ever does. He acknowledged the grift. Not the game of chance, but the game of perception. The realization that the Strip stopped selling entertainment and started selling entitlement. And if you think a $12 coffee is where the confession ends, you're not prepared for what comes next. Because this admission opens a door to every dirty secret the Strip has been hiding. Old Vegas was built on a simple promise. Treat people like kings, and they'll empty their wallets at the tables. Free drinks flowed like water. Buffets cost less than a movie ticket. Pit bosses knew your name. And comp rooms weren't mythical unicorns. That Vegas made you feel special even when you were losing money. Today's Vegas? It's about monetization per square foot. The shift started after the 2008 financial crisis when corporations like MGM swallowed the family casinos whole. Binion's gone. Sahara transformed. The Dunes demolished. With each acquisition, the motto changed from treat them right to charge them for everything. Hornbuckle's admission proves what longtime visitors already know. Ask anyone who remembers the 1990s Strip, the smell of cheap buffets, neon signs buzzing, bellhops joking with tourists, and they'll tell you the same thing. Vegas had personality. You weren't a data point. You were a story waiting to happen. That magic didn't fade. It was monetized out of existence. The CEO of a gaming empire was forced to apologize for nickel and diming the very tourists who built his empire. When you replace hospitality with spreadsheets, when you swap human touch for profit algorithms, something breaks. The old Vegas dealers who remembered your kids' names have been replaced by executives who see you as a walking credit card. But if you think the philosophical shift is troubling, wait until you see the actual schemes they've been running. It started with a lie wrapped in marketing language. The resort fee. Guests are told it covers Wi-Fi you could get free at McDonald's, a gym you'll never use, and pool access that ends at 6 p.m. Hotels claim these are amenities. In reality, it's a mandatory surcharge designed to inflate revenue while keeping advertised room rates artificially low. The math is staggering. Industry insiders estimate these fees generate hundreds of millions annually, across MGM properties alone. That $45 nightly fee at Aria, pure profit. The $35 at Park MGM, same story. Multiply that across thousands of rooms, 365 days a year, and you understand why resort fees became the industry's favorite trick. It's estimated MGM alone earns more from resort fees annually than some mid-tier casinos make in gaming revenue. It's not hospitality, it's hidden taxation. Hornbuckle didn't name resort fees specifically during his confession, but when he said, "We've price corrected," every Vegas regular heard the subtext. We've been caught. The shell game is up, yet even today, that fee still appears at checkout, hiding like a parasite in your final bill. And while resort fees might feel like the ultimate betrayal, they're nothing compared to what MGM did to something that was sacred for 70 years. For decades, free parking was Vegas's unspoken promise. It didn't matter if you were a high roller or a penny slot player, your car was welcome. It was a symbol that said, "Come as you are, stay as long as you want." Then in 2016, MGM pulled the trigger on a decision that locals still call the day Vegas died. MGM became the first major operator to charge for parking, not for valet, for self-parking. The dominoes fell fast, Caesars followed, Wynn caved. Within 18 months, the entire strip had monetized the simple act of showing up. Today, parking at an MGM property can run $30 per day. At Bellagio, it's $40. Add mysterious convenience fees, and suddenly parking costs more than your buffet. Hornbuckle's apology for pricing hits different here, because this wasn't about inflation or market forces. This was about breaking a 70-year social contract for a few extra million. The betrayal began the moment MGM decided that even arriving at their casino should cost money. The outrage wasn't just about money. It was betrayal of trust, the breaking of an unspoken Vegas promise that loyalty would always be rewarded, not penalized. But if monetizing parking feels greedy, the next revelation shows how they transformed eating from pleasure into punishment. What once cost $10 now costs $30, and they call it experience dining. Hornbuckle used Excalibur's infamous coffee as his example, but the problem runs deeper than overpriced caffeine. MGM transformed eating from necessity into luxury theater, and your wallet is paying for the show. The celebrity chef invasion seemed exciting at first. Gordon Ramsay, Wolfgang Puck, Morimoto. Big names, big flavors, bigger bills. But somewhere along the way, these partnerships stopped being about quality and became about margin manipulation. A basic cheeseburger at Bellagio runs $28. A bowl of ramen at Momofuku inside Cosmopolitan hits $35. That's before the 18% service charge they add automatically. "We should have been more sensitive to the overall experience," Hornbuckle admitted on the call. Translation: "We charged Michelin prices in casino food courts and thought nobody would notice. They noticed." Social media exploded with photos of $60 breakfast platters and $150 steaks that would cost half that price anywhere else. The restaurant racket isn't just about food anymore. It's about turning hunger into a premium transaction. And this pricing manipulation extends beyond the restaurants, reaching into the very heart of why people come to Vegas. Even the games themselves have turned against you. Former casino technicians are breaking their silence, confirming what players have suspected for years. MGM slot machines run tighter today than a decade ago. Lower return percentages, slower bonus rounds, longer losing streaks designed to drain your bankroll while you chase that next hit. Players feel it in their bones. The jackpots that used to drop every few hours now feel like myths. That electric excitement when someone nearby won big, it's gone. Instead, you sit at machines programmed to take more and give less, while cheerful sounds mask the mathematical theft happening in real time. When Hornbuckle says MGM miscalculated, this is what he really means. They squeezed the odds so tight that gambling stopped feeling like entertainment and started feeling like donation. The slow, systematic extraction of fun, replaced by algorithms designed to maximize loss. Sure, the lights still flash, the drinks still flow, but every regular knows the truth. The games aren't just harder to win, they're designed to ensure you lose faster. And if you think rigged slots are disturbing, the next revelation shows how they track every move you make. The shift to MGM Rewards and cashless play wasn't modernization. It was monetization wrapped in convenience. Every swipe, every tap, every bet feeds a system that knows more about your gambling habits than you do, and they're using that knowledge against you. Industry insiders reveal the disturbing truth. MGM tracks player behavior in real time. Bet sizes, time on machine, bathroom breaks, even your preferred drinks. That data feeds algorithms that predict exactly when you're about to quit and how to keep you playing. A perfectly timed comp drink, a surprise bonus offer on your phone, a host who suddenly appears with good news about your reward status. The house doesn't just win anymore. It studies how you lose. Hornbuckle framed this surveillance as understanding customer experience. But when algorithms replace human intuition, when your entire gambling pattern becomes a data set to exploit, loyalty programs become manipulation machines. They know which sounds make you bet more, which colors keep you seated longer, which messages trigger your impulse to chase losses. You're not a guest anymore. You're a behavioral pattern being optimized for maximum extraction. But their digital empire has a fatal flaw they never saw coming. Last year's MGM cyber attack didn't just expose security flaws, it exposed the terrifying fragility of their entire digital obsession. For 10 days, the Strip's biggest operator was brought to its knees by hackers who understood MGM systems better than MGM did. Guests stood helpless in lobbies, locked out of rooms they'd already paid for. Slot machines went dark. Casino floors turned into expensive furniture showrooms. Credit card systems crashed. The reservation system collapsed. Even room keys stopped working, forcing security to manually verify thousands of guests. The company that charges technology fees couldn't protect the technology. Hornbuckle acknowledged the chaos, but spun it as a learning moment. The irony burns. The same corporation that tracks your every move, that builds profiles of your spending habits, that monitors your gambling patterns, couldn't protect that data from criminals. Customer information scattered across the dark web, financial details exposed, personal information compromised. MGM's digital transformation, once sold as the future of hospitality, became its biggest vulnerability. The irony couldn't be sharper. A company obsessed with control undone by a system it built to control everyone else. It's poetic and pathetic. They built a glass house of data and surveillance, then acted shocked when someone threw a stone. The breach didn't just cost money, it shattered the illusion that MGM knows what it's doing. MGM didn't just change its own properties, it poisoned the entire Strip. Like a virus spreading through the desert, every pricing scheme MGM pioneered became industry standard within months. Now, every casino charges for what used to be free. The contamination is complete. Early check-in, that's $50. Bottle of water from your minibar, $15 plus a restocking fee. Want a pool chair with shade? $75 per day. Even using the gym you already paid for through resort fees requires another fee for towel service. The nickel and diming has become so absurd that tourists share screenshots like evidence of crimes. Hornbuckle admitted the company should have been more sensitive to the overall experience. But that's corporate speak for something darker. MGM created the blueprint for turning every single touch point into a transaction. They showed competitors that tourists would pay for anything if you made it mandatory. They proved that you could destroy hospitality and still fill rooms through market dominance. Visitors leave saying the same thing. Vegas isn't fun anymore. The magic is dead. The ripoff isn't just in the prices. It's in the spirit of a city that sold its soul for quarterly earnings. Which brings us to the ultimate question: can trust be rebuilt? Hornbuckle ended his confession call with words that should terrify every MGM shareholder. We think, we hope, we believe, we've price corrected. Think, hope, believe, not know, not guarantee, not promise. Even the CEO isn't sure they can undo the damage. The bigger question isn't about pricing, it's about trust. Because once tourists stop believing Vegas is worth it, once they realize the house doesn't just always win, but actively schemes against them, no amount of marketing can save the Strip. No celebrity residency, no Formula One race, no million-dollar renovation can restore faith in a city that systematically betrayed its visitors. The numbers tell the story. Visitor counts still haven't recovered to pre-pandemic levels, despite every casino being fully operational. Younger tourists are choosing Nashville, Miami, even Scottsdale over Vegas. The word is spreading faster than MGM can contain it. Las Vegas has become a cautionary tale about corporate greed destroying customer loyalty. Hornbuckle's admission wasn't an apology, it was a warning shot. Even the executives know they've pushed too far. The question is whether it's already too late. Because when the CEO of your biggest operator admits they've been ripping people off, maybe the house of cards is finally ready to fall.